So come on in. We're talking about the power of alignment tonight, and I've got some good things in store for you, and I think that you're going to love it. So I just want to be clear about this. Like, why alignment? Why is it so powerful? Why do we do this work? And it's because essentially you're an energy being. You're a magnetic energy being. And we associate ourselves with being a human being all the time. And they always say, yes, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? But really, a lot of times we're a human being, or we see that way and we're having this like spiritual experience. That's what we're having like right now. But I want to bring you to this like awareness. I am an energy being. And if you guys can write that down, hashtag me, I'm an energy being in the chat. I am an energy being. I want you to just hold that for a moment, because as we hold it, I am an energy being. What it does is it shifts us to a more quantum perspective. And so in the work and in program and in group, I'm always talking about like this, this quantum piece, right? But when I say I am a human being, it grounds me right in my ego. It grounds me right in my human experience. It grounds me right at this very desk I'm sitting at, right? With my very limited view from my very limited mind. And so if you want to manifest like a goddess, and I want you to, and it's possible for you to be there, I want you to say, I am an energy being, and start owning that. Because the power of alignment, you guys, when you really hold yourself as an energy being, a magnetic energy being, shifts you over to a more quantum perspective in that minute, right? Do we not feel the power of that alignment all by itself? It's a big deal. So I want you to be like, when I say that, look at the shift that happens in me. That's the power of alignment. So did you see what I just did right there? It's like magic, right? We claim, we own, we stand in, we shift ourselves to a quantum perspective by simple, sometimes very fine-tuned, tiny tweaks in our thinking, in our vibing, in our feeling. We calibrate to the alignment. And if you don't have what you want yet, and you're not there yet, it's because we're not aligned yet and we haven't calibrated to it yet. And it's a process of calibrating, right? I get so excited about this. And fine-tuning that frequency. You are an energy being and you're gorgeous. And I don't even know, like sometimes I get like so moved by like how beautiful you guys are. And it blows my mind at what is possible with the power of one small shift. So did you just feel that? Give me some hearts if you just felt that. Let me know if you did. I am an energy being. Do you feel the shift to the quantum? That's the fine-tuning. That's the power of alignment right there. One little example that I want to share with you and show you. Look at this, you guys. You feel that? Gives me goosebumps, for goodness sake. That is the fine-tuned frequency. And when I teach through the power of these like sweet little slices of distinction, of energy, of perspective, of feeling place, of emotion. And they're subtle and they're beautiful and they're easy to slip into just like that. Calibrating your energy is not to be difficult. It's just to be learned. It's to be held. It's to be felt. It's to be leaned into. And when we do that, we actually do find ourselves finding our alignment. The only thing that has you out of your alignment most of the time is that we don't know like how to do it. All right? We don't know like how to do it, or we don't know how to dial in to it. And so feel me? Do you feel me? It's like fine tuning is just slicing the distinction. Looking at the subtleties of the energy, looking at the subtleties of your beautiful, magnetic energy being self. So here's the great news. I mean, not only are you a beautiful, magnetic energy being, right? But you live in this beautiful, magnetic universe. And when you choose to do the work of alignment in the subtleties that it is, when you choose to do that work, you become a vibrational match to universal energy. you know? And I always take you guys back to something very human to grab onto, very grounding, which is Abraham Hicks says this: the appreciation of self and the appreciation of others is the highest vibrational match to source energy we've seen anywhere in this universe. So when we even go to that appreciation of self, it's the fine tuning of the energy that takes us to be a vibrational match to the source that lives within us. That is some freaking powerful alignment. So these subtleties make all the difference. We sometimes go, I'm not in alignment, I don't know how to get back in alignment. But let me tell you, there's something so easy about getting back into alignment. And number one, it's turning your attention to it. So, you know, my guidance is always like on high, is always highly involved in what's coming through me. But two things, you know, here's what I want you to really embrace. I want you to really embrace that alignment, and this is a gift. Alignment is both your personal responsibility. How awesome is this? And even better, it's your birthright. So I've never said it like that before tonight. I never have like heard those words like come through me in the same way as they did as I was like feeling into tonight. And I was like, alignment is both your personal responsibility and your birthright. And so it's like something I want you to be so excited about. Like, not only I am an energy being, I have the power to choose my alignment. Like, it starts there. Like, it is my birthright to choose my alignment. It is my birthright to create the life that I want to live. That is such a huge thing. And so we sometimes make small these gateways to this higher level of consciousness. And I want to give you these pieces tonight, not only because I want you to feel into the power of alignment and calibrating and fine-tuning those subtle energies, but I want you to know like that you're very powerful as a human being having a spiritual experience and a spiritual energetic being having this very human experience. You are very powerful. So it's like day 2 of our 100-day quantum core goes like this. 100%, day 2. Raise your hand if you've done day 2. Day 2, 100% responsibility model. And that means that I am going to own ferociously the good, the bad, the ugly, the challenges, the ebbs, the flows, all of it. And when I do, I stand in my power as a conscious creator. And when I'm there, and only there, do I stand in my full power, fully aligned, fully ready to say, where am I vibrating? Where is my frequency right now? Because it is my birthright, right? And it is a gift that I've been given to align my energy. So you have the power. This is the good news. Like, you have the power to align your energy, just like we just did with one small tweak tonight. You have the power 24/7, 365, if you choose it, to align your energy or not. And honestly, it is a time investment. It's an attention investment. It's an investment that means I have to focus on myself. But what's the return on that investment? The life that you want to live, the synchronicities, the magic, the unfolding. If I could, and I don't have time, but the amount of unfolding that's happened since Thursday for me has been profound. Synchronicity after synchronicity after synchronicity after synchronicity after magic after awe-inspiring moments. And I literally cannot tell you that the power of alignment is profound. And I want you guys to start with, I am an energy being. I have the power to align my life starting right now. And when I do, the return on the investment for my time, my attention, my time, my intention, my focus is what I said. Those 3 things. Oh my God. The return on investment is I'm happier. I collapse time. I get what I want. Everything is working out for me. The universe conspires in my favor, and I start that engine, and the universe always meets me 1,000%, and it moves, and we move, and we move, and we move, and it's amazing. So the power of alignment, I mean, I come with a message to you like, okay, I definitely want to help you understand why it's so important and why you can wake up tomorrow and say, yeah, I'm an energy being. In fact, I'm a goddess. And how would I like to create my life today? I wake up in the morning quite often and say, all right, goddess, how would you like to create your life today? All right, goddess, how would you like to give yourself a raise today? All right, goddess, how would you like to stand in your power more today than you ever have, ever? How would you like to push yourself to the amazingness that's available to you as a conscious creator? I'm in. Why? Because I love the magic. Why? Because I love the synchronicities, because I'm a junkie. I'm a synchronicity junkie. And that's because when I dance on that level with the universe, things happen that make me absolutely so joyful. Words cannot describe it. So is it about the money? Is it about the car? Is it about the trip? Is it about the job? Is it about the love? Is it about that? Sometimes it just comes down to, it's because of the bliss of it and the bliss of creating it, actually. But it's like, this is about the bliss of it. This is about the transformation of it. This is about the juicy, creating what you want, magic money showing up for you because you're so aligned. Bliss of it. And maybe it's not about the money, but it's the love, right? Love is where it's at. However, you get to want what you want in my world, and I want it all. I don't know about you. Do you guys want it all? Is that too much? Is that too much? Do you guys want it all too? I know I do. So, so tell me how this feels. Can you feel the alignment in this, you guys? Can you feel the power in this? So I want you to feel into that, but I also want you to think like, what am I supposed to align with? Well, you can align with a lot of things. You can align with your dreams, your desires, your vision, right? Creating love in your life, creating relationships that you want, right? You can align with self-love, finding yourself, transforming yourself, becoming more of your future self, right? Creating the future that you want to bring into your present moment. You align with all of that. We can align even truly with healing our past if we choose it. A different process, but we can. And that's a powerful thing. So what do? Yeah, we align our thoughts, our emotions, our frequency. You are an energy being. Say it again. I am an energy being having a magical, mystical, synchronistic, unbelievable experience. And that is amazing. And I want that for you guys. So when you work on those thoughts and those beliefs and those emotions and those perspectives, and you start to download from me to you, the frequencies that come from a philosophy that holds yourself in a different place, that transforms you, you do start to vibe differently. You do start to calibrate differently. You do start to have alignment with more ease. But leaning into this so that you can just feel the power of this is what I want to like deliver you tonight. And I'm so excited about this. You can tell I'm talking 1,000 miles an hour, but there's a lot coming through me. But how do I know? So the one thing that you go like, so people say, I need to get in alignment. I'm so out of alignment. And then they say these words. How do I know if I'm out of alignment? Anyone ask the question? I'm not getting what I want. I must be out of alignment, right? But do I know? We're so busy and we're so used to living the human experience like through the mind. We're so used to that. Sometimes we don't know if we're lined up or not. Like, what's the difference? What's it feel like to be over here, super aligned and like vibing really high and dialed in and calibrated in your frequency? What's that like compared to life, human, with beliefs that I've been living for a long time? What is the difference and how can I see outside of that if that's all I know, right? So I wanted you just ask you this question. Abraham uses the term resistance. So I thought that would be a good term to use because many of you are very familiar with Abe. So just ask yourself, is there resistance in my frequency? And resistance is only when you feel like you are feeling tight, right? When you pull back the slingshot, there's resistance, okay? I have something cool to tell you about this too. So you pull back that slingshot, there's resistance there. That resistance maybe feels like disempowerment, fear, failure, scarcity, anger, unforgiveness, some of those things. So if you're feeling resistance, sometimes I walk around, I'm like, why am I so discontent? I have this discontentment about me. And I'll be like, I'm feeling discontentment. I don't even know why. And then I'll go, oh yeah, that's right, I can't find my check card. True story, that happens. Or, oh my gosh, I'm like a chronic. I can misplace things. I'd be like, I can't find my keys, right? Or where did I put something? And so then it'll create this misalignment, and it comes from the judging myself and feeling irritated and not feeling I can put my finger on the thing that I want right now, right? It feels disorganized and cluttered, and I did it again, and I'm in all this criticism. So there's resistance, and my band is pulled way back. And so what does that sound like? It sounds like self-criticism, self-judgment, da-da-da-da. And then I can have it run underground. So has anyone had that happen where you've just got a bunch of resistance, and it could be disempowerment, fear, failure, scarcity, unforgiveness, right? Those things, they're running underground because that's how life is that's just what life is. And we've been told to suck it up. I don't know about you, but we've been told to suck it up. And there is this difference between suck it up and it is what is. And I will accept this. Got it? You feel me? It's different. So I have goosebumps right now. I want you to feel in this. Is there resistance in my vibration? Is there resistance in my frequency? And if there is, that means I have alignment work to do. That means that there is something to be fine-tuned in my frequency, my energy, and my vibration. There is something to be put in front of me that allows me to let go of that resistance. And I learned years ago, and I can't remember the exact quote. I've quoted it enough that I should, but here's what's awesome. The transformation on the other side of the resistance, think slingshot, when you let that resistance go, is equal to the transformation possible on the other side of the resistance. So the amount of resistance that you're holding in your scarcity, your fear, your anger, your unforgiveness, your unresolved stuff that's misaligning you in your humanness, when we get to the place where we let go of that resistance, heal that forgiveness, or heal that resistance, sorry, child interrupting. When you let that go, the amount of resistance that you have as it relates to letting it go also is a measure of the massive, grand transformation that you're about to experience. So if you come to me, and people say this to me every single time I talk to somebody on the phone, they say, Lori, I'm ready to do something different. I'm ready to transform myself. I'm ready to manifest something different in my life. And they say, I bet you've never heard anyone so messed up. They say, I bet I'm a hot mess. And I'm like, beautiful hot mess though. And you're not so messy, right? But if you feel like you've got some resistance and you know it and it's in your frequency, just trust that on the other side of that resistance is when you let go and heal all of that, the transformation ahead of you is equal to the amount of resistance that we held on the other side. So the more messed up we think we are, the more transformation and the more flow and the more becoming that happens on the other side. So I never want you to judge yourself for having the resistance or being out of alignment. Guess what? I get out of alignment. I just get back in it really fast. I'm a fast processor. I use the tools. I go all the time. I'm always going, is there resistance in my frequency? Or, boy, am I really having a lot of resistance right now. Let me move through that and let me transform that resistance into empowerment, into bravery, into courage, into prosperity, into joy, into bliss, into forgiveness, into healing. And when I do that work, I let go. And that's the deeper work. But the energetic frequency work is as easy as from a quantum perspective, I am an energy being, an amazing magnetic energy being that dances with this magnetic, beautiful universe and creates stuff and creates experiences and creates prosperity from my essence. How cool is that? I'll tell you this, you were born, that was your birthright, and it is your personal responsibility to stay in the alignment that is a vibrational match to the powerful you. And you can do it just like we did in these short blips. it works, it can that fast. How many of you in this room, raise your hand or send me a heart, how many of this room felt that shift again and are still feeling it right now? Because I just felt the whole room of you move intuitively. It was big. So that's the power of alignment. You know, it's like, I'm not here tonight really necessarily to tell you, here are the steps to alignment, because there's many. And there's many ways, and there's many ways that I teach you how to do this. And sometimes we do talk about that on Monday Lives, but I really wanted to dial you into the frequency and calibrate to the possibility of that, right? It's big stuff. It's big stuff, and it's very real. We feel like we are human beings sitting at a hard desk, looking at a hard reality and saying, instead of saying, I'm going to build the sandcastle, I'm going to create this amazing experience with the energetic goodness that's before me and that I am. And I'm going to stand in that power and going to do it differently because I know how to align, because I'm calibrated up, and because I really, really choose. This is my responsibility and my birthright. And this is like an amazing opportunity for you. And if you're catching me seriously live tonight and you needed to hear this, let me know, because we all do sometimes. We all need to remember the light within us and the responsibility that we have to nurture that and grow that and be empowered in that. So, yeah. So you guys, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, so let me know if that was helpful, okay? Let me know if these reminders got you in a little bit more flow and a little bit more sync. And be thinking about this one question: is there resistance in my frequency? And if there is, bring me to the alignment of that. Bring me to the healing of that. Bring me to the fine-tuning of that, so that I can transform and release the resistance and go farther than I ever have before. But I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I hope it was super helpful. And I will see you guys very soon. I love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.